4 years ago, I was given 6 weeks to live. This is my story.
It was shocking. It was absolutely awful. We were told by the hospital that he had heart failure. They kept him in and they were doing tests because they weren't happy. They wanted to know why. And the next thing they said he had cancer. And just thinking, God, no. He started going downhill so quickly. The change in him was awful. We didn't realise to the extent how ill he was.
I know it sounds silly, but I never looked to the fact that I was gonna die, sort of thing. It never entered my mind. There was times I was really ill. I just couldn't eat nothing for days on end. Food just did not interest me at all whatsoever.
Because of the radiotherapy, it attacked his bowels. He had nasal tubes down into his stomach being drained. The pain he was in was shocking. And because of all this, I think, to begin with, it made him scared to eat. And then he'd got past eating anyway. And that was my biggest nightmare with him, was to try and get him to eat. I was visiting Rog one afternoon. In fact, I was at the hospital most of the time. The doctor came in and he asked to have a word, and he took me outside into the corridor and he told me that basically Rog had weeks to live. It was shocking. It was absolutely awful. Before we left hospital, we were put in contact with a young nurse, Nicola, who was the palliative care. And Nicola came along and she said, look, do you mind if we get hold of Phyllis Tuckwell? You know, we just thought it was end of life and that was it, and he'd go in that door and I wouldn't see him again. That would be the end of it.
We both thought, well, if I'm invited to go to hospice, it's not looking good. And we told our children.
Whenever anybody talks about Phyllis Tuckwell, it's always end of life. It was always a dark picture. Phyllis Tuckwell, people die. We didn't think he would come out.
Initially, when people hear the name hospice, they think of, gosh, I must be really ill. It must be the end of life. Far from it. Hospice care isn't just about dying. Hospice care is very much about maximising your well-being, maximising the available time. It's about the rest of life.
When we walked in that door, it was just as if the whole weight had been lifted off your shoulders. That was the beginning of the journey.
When I first went there, I couldn't talk for more than about 20 seconds at a time. I couldn't get my breath. And sometimes I used to go into real bad spasms of trying to breathe and that. But I didn't take it that I was ill. I just took it that I was that weak.
That first day I left him there was somebody with him all the time. He loved everybody there. The patients, the nurses, the helpers, and they all made such a fuss of him. Once they got their hands on him, things moved. They moved quite quickly, actually. To begin with, it was massage and then it was acupuncture. And while this was going on, we also saw the hypnotist, and that's when the big turning point came.
She turned me around from not eating, and that sort of started it off. I then started eating. Not a lot, but I started eating.
The whole philosophy around Living Well services are about helping people to maximise their well-being, so their physical well-being and their emotional well-being. It's about helping people to regain control, to assist with coping strategies, to assist with the changes and help support people at a very challenging time in their lives.
Because people cared in there, it gave Rog the will to move on.
It's getting better and better as the time's going on. I know I haven't been cured, but I'm making the most of life while I can. I wanted to go and do Go Ape, but then I went downhill. I'm really looking forward to go around doing it, even as old as I am. Yeah.
He's my dad. I'm just really proud of him. Really proud. And the thought of losing my dad, it's not a nice feeling. And then to see him recover and pick himself up and with the family support, get on so well, and to be able to come and do this with us lot, with the grandkids as well. It's just amazing.
I take what I got. I don't care, bad days, good days. Every day's precious.